Hi and welcome to another video. So in this video, I know it's been requested a few times, is to go through the gaming acceleration features that's within the Asus GT-AX11000. So as you can see, this is the beta firmware that I'm currently running. So this is the latest version out as of March the 21st, 2021. So as you can see on the game acceleration page here, I normally, I think you can do this within the app on the phone, but I prefer, it makes it more clearer and easier to use, is if you use the browser and go into the advanced features like this, to actually access the features. But of course you can, it's your preference to use the app. But in this video I'm going to be using the browser version of the user interface for the router. So as you can see here, they actually have broken it down now. So they've got like level 1 for port prioritization, level 2 for game packet prioritization, and level 3 for game server acceleration. So they're calling this the triple level game acceleration, and overall this is trying to do a bit of quality of service. So it's trying to make everything much easier. So the quality of service will prioritize anything on your home network you choose to be your Xbox, PlayStation, gaming PC, or Nintendo Switch, anything you choose to prioritize. But if you're going to set this video as actually specifically about gaming, so we'll just concentrate on that. So this is prioritizing. You'll set the quality of service to gaming mode. So it prioritizes all the traffic for gaming over like your Netflix. So someone else is watching Netflix, or they're watching YouTube or internet browsing or downloading something. The router will then decide, or hang on, I've analyzed the information, the packets of information that are going through, and I'm going to prioritize these. So the other people, if you're doing a lot of multiple users that are actually downloading or uploading at the same time, so the other people might get affected with a bit of slowdown on theirs, but it shouldn't affect too much unless you're doing some heavy downloading. So as we said on here, it clearly shows you on the first tabs, as we see at the top, you've got the game acceleration. So this is like a dashboard, and then you'll have the quality of service, the QoS, the Wtfast, so that's the third party service that we'll come on to later. Then they've got a gear accelerator. So this gear accelerator is really like a one-click option, and that actually switches on the QoS, the quality of service within your router. And the gear accelerator, then you can choose which device you want from like your Xbox, PlayStation, etc. And they will add it to the quality of service to make it as a highest priority as possible. So basically it's the same as quality of service, it's just Asus' own version of a one-click version to simplify it for the end user. And then lastly we've got internet speed. So again, that's like a speed test that's quite new for the firmware they've added. So then you can do a speed test on your router to see how fast your download and upload is. And also, as in the previous video I've shown you, it gives you a score of how identify on how much you can download and upload and what you're capable of streaming as well. So that's quite good features they've got here. Again, we'll go through and see if actually all of these things that Asus have added will make a difference to gaming with the ping rate. And I know most people are quite concentrated on that. So I've got some tests we can do just to do there. So again, so if we start off with the first one, we'll move on now to the gaming port prioritization. Level 1, the game port prioritization. So we'll have a quick look at this. So as you can see here, it's on the dashboard within the router. It's got there the game devices, so dedicated gaming port that prioritizes network traffic to connected devices, and then ROG first. So what does all this mean? So basically, this level 1 is only specific if you have an Asus device. And the device I mean is a laptop, a desktop computer, or anything like that. So what this is actually software that you download on your Asus device, so your laptop or PC, and then this prioritizes a certain Ethernet port. If your PC has like two Ethernet ports, then you can choose to prioritize one. And also it works as like a quality of service on your computer, where you download an application and it will accelerate everything for gaming. But again, this is only specific if you have an Asus computer. So if you're like myself who has a HP computer, then this will not work. So this section wouldn't be relevant for myself. But again, if you've got an Asus, if you built your own PC and you have an Asus motherboard, then you can use this as well, of course. So it's specific to Asus products. And as we can see here, it's actually a program you download and you can then configure. So as you can see here, that when you click on the Go button on the router's dashboard, it will take you to this web page. So this is the Asus website and this is their FAQ. So this is the information that relates to the program that will be either installed as default on your Asus computer or laptop, or on your Asus motherboard that will come with the drivers. But if you have not downloaded it and you cannot see this, then there's download links, as you can see on step 3, where you can download this Asus program, where it will prioritize and help with your network and gaming. So as you can see, the application here is here's the dashboard. So you can see the actual application you download for it, as they got the dashboard. You have the network, your CPU upload and download speeds. You have a network monitor, network analyzer, the smart router, and settings. So this is where you can then choose how you want to prioritize, and then as we're concentrating on gaming, it will be gaming first as you choose here, so that then this software will make it sure that it gives priority to all the gaming applications and that you've installed on your PC. So as you can see here, this is the program here, and it's the screens that you can see here, and it gives you a breakdown of the services that are currently running on your PC, the network traffic. But again, this is only specific to your PC Windows. And I don't believe I've seen a Linux or a Mac version of this, so this is only Windows 8 and above. Again, here you can see the wireless channels where it's picking up information, and again you can discover your Asus router, where you can log in and it gives you information. So again, this is very good, but it's only very specific to if you've got an Asus motherboard, laptop or computer, and it's running Windows 8 and above. So this is actually like a prioritization software for those computers. Now we'll be moving on to the next section. Level 2 is actually game packet prioritization. So this is actually on the router. So this one is not specific to any operating systems or any devices and things like that. So this will work with all devices that are on your network that you want to boost for gaming. So this is probably more of a more important item that we want to enable to give us better pings and the jitter, and also different connection speeds if we're having any issues. So as we say here, this is the game boost option, and again there's a button that on the side of the router as well that you can set up to enable this and disable. So what this does again is prioritize all gaming. So as it says here, the game boost activates gaming mode using adaptive QoS. So that's the quality of service tab we have on the top, and we'll come to that later. So that switches that on and then switches the setting to gaming mode. So that means all gaming traffic passing through the router can be prioritized to ensure ultimate gaming performance. So basically what that does is it analyzes all the information that's coming into the router from your devices, so your Xbox, your computers, tablets, phones and everything, and then sees if it's actually gaming data packets that it is actually relevant and should it prioritize. So then it'll very cleverly analyze the information, see where it's going and say, oh, that's gaming packet information, and I'll prioritize that over the YouTube video that someone wants to stream on their phone. So it is quite a lot of clever information analysis going on with the router. And again, this is why we paid so much money for this router as well, and also why it's got quite a big CPU, powerful, and also with the RAM as well, so it can take all this analysis work that's going on. So as we can see there, you've got the enable game boost switch and then the go button there. So literally if you click on the clicking the go button, it will take you straight to the top tab. So it'll take you to the next one, the QoS, or the quality of service. And as it says up the top there, you have 3 different options that you can use this quality of service for. You can choose adaptive QoS, so that ensures inbound and outbound bandwidth on both your Ethernet or wired and wireless connections are prioritized. So, and you've got predefined settings as well. So that's for like gaming, media streaming. So that's your YouTube, Netflix, and everything else, web serving and file transfer, and your voice over IP. And then you have your traditional QoS to ensure inbound and outbound bandwidth on both wired and wireless connection of prioritized applications. Again, it's user, so we will probably be using the adaptive, but we'll go through them anyway. And then you have a bandwidth limiter. So this one's quite good if you want to limit something that's on your network and is uploading too much or downloading, and you want to limit them on this. So as you can see, I've currently got this switched off. I can switch it on, and as you can see then it switches on, and it says there it does take several minutes when you enable QoS, and it will ask you what type. So you've got your adaptive, as we said above. So we're going to leave it at the adaptive, and it says bandwidth settings, we're leaving it as automatic. So we're going to let the router choose for us. Again, we've got the options down here to customize it. So we've got games, media streaming, web surfing, learning from home. That's a new one, and working from home, because the more people now are doing that. And then customize. So customize, you can choose your own settings. But for this one, we're going to be using the Asus default for gaming. And as you see here, for prioritize, to optimize online gaming process bandwidth. So again, it's going around there, same for certain games, Xbox, and things like that, to help make the better game experience. So once you've selected that one, we can click apply, and then we wait for the router to update, and then you may disconnect from, if you're connected by Wi-Fi to the router, it might disconnect, and then it might take a few minutes for you to reconnect again. But once everything's done, you can see it's completed and it's switched on. So you can see here now is going to start prioritizing all gaming traffic over all other traffic that's on your network. So now moving on to the game server acceleration. So that's down as level 3 on the router. So as we did previously, now you can see that the enable game boost switch is turned on, because we've enabled that, and then that of course enables the quality of service, and we've set that to the gaming boost mode as well in the selection process. So again, moving on to level 3 now, this is a third-party app that's actually Asus has joined up with, and the company is called Wtfast. And what they do is like a VPN, but it's called a GPN, so it's a games priority network. And what they do is they try and connect you to the game service via the shortest route and the lowest ping and latency. So it's trying to give you a faster connection than most other connections can, your like a normal internet to the game servers. So this is quite a good service, and I think there's a monthly fee normally for this service. So what we'll do now is we'll go to click the go button, and we'll go into more details on this. So as we can see here, that takes us to the Wtfast tab on the top of our router, and the option menu from the game acceleration. So as you can see here, it gives you a bit more details around there, and login information that you'll need to either register for, create a free account, and it's got a link there if you don't have an account already, or if you do, you can set up a new one. I do believe if you already have a Wtfast account, you still have to create a new account because this one is linked to your router. And the services are two different services that are offered, and we'll go into more specifics about that in a minute. So as we can see here, it's the Gamers Private Network. It's powered by Wtfast, as we said, third-party company, and that automatically selects the most efficient route for your gaming packets and pings, and then hopefully reduce your packet loss as well. So basically making a better gaming experience, and especially in the vital seconds that you probably need when you're trying to shoot someone. Or do something else. So as we see here, the benefits is reduces the average ping time and variation, reduces the average packet loss rate. To be honest, I've never really seen a huge packet loss rate for myself, as I'm on fiber to the home connection. So I'm not too sure how this will affect my connection, but a lot of other people are probably on less than 1 gigabit per second like I am. You might see a big notice. And you can see here the cross-platform support, so it supports lots of platforms here, and also it takes away from the using the CPU and RAM that's on the gaming router, and everything else, and tries to prioritize it on theirs. And you get this free for life on your chosen Asus router, so that's good. As I said before, you normally do have to pay for this service as a monthly fee, or you can pay it annually. But again, there is a caveat with this, is that as this is free, you don't get everything free for life. There's always some kind of catch, and then in this case there is. So there's only specific games that they support, and you do have a data allowance as well. So you've got to take these into consideration as well, that these things are quite limiting sometimes when you're looking at it. So as we can see there, they've got Linux, macOS, Android, iOS. So it supports a lot of there, and then games as well. So now I want to go into, before I log in and show you further on the dashboard here, is what actual games it supports currently and the limitations, as I said previously. So when you come to the Wtfast router's website, you can see here the information that's relating to the Asus routers that are actually compatible with this service. And again, you can see we've got the GT-AX11000 there as one of the Asus routers that are accepted. And as you can see, it gives you more information here and about creating an account, logging in, and also we'll go to in a minute the supported games. So what they're saying here is, with a focus on gaming, Asus have worked closely with Wtfast, so they've integrated this desktop application into the router itself, so that's really good. And the Wtfast Gamers Private Network, the GPN, can lower latency and reduce packet loss for online gaming through the router, be it console or PC. So again, it's cross-platform, so it's really good because it's all handled by the router. The free router client support one device with GPN traffic limits. This is what we were saying before. It does have limits on the traffic amount, even though in the small print I can't see the specific amounts on how much it is that they're limiting. And then also you can say is if you want to connect more than one device on the network here, then you'll have to pay again the premium subscription. So if you do have PlayStations and Xboxes, and then multiple people are actually playing at the same time, the router will only allow one device at a time. So these are the limitations again that you must be aware of. As we said, it's free on the router that you got with Asus. But so looking at all of that, I think Asus could have been a bit more clearer on their website, on the actual product page, about the limitations as well. They have here. So next we'll move on to the supported games. So moving on to the supported games list here, we can see, and this takes you to their on the Wtfast website. I think the last updated was March the 5th 2021, so it's been updated quite recently with the list of games that they're supporting. So again, here they're saying that the Wtfast Game Boost running on specific routers currently support these games here. So you've got a list of a breakdown of PC games, Xbox and PlayStation. Again, this is they are add new games all the time, but I haven't seen the list add and grow as fast as I would like, but it is a free service. Again, you can pay if you want to for the premium service. So again, here's the list of PC games, as you can see here. So you can pause the screen and you can see for yourself if the games here you're playing. Again, it is quite limited ones that they've got available for PC gaming. And they're just also noting as well that this is a free service, and you do need to create an account also. And also I think they do remind people this is still a beta service, so it's still like a testing service that they've added in this Wtfast into the Asus routers. But again, it's been out for over a year or longer, and I think they should have at least come out of beta testing by now, but they still haven't. Moving on, as we can see here, for consoles, we've got the Xbox One games and PS4. It doesn't list PS5 or the new Xbox. So I saw on the product page that it does say for the AX11000 is PlayStation 5 compatible with the new, and also I think with the new Xbox. But again, it doesn't list any of their games on here. So I presume that if you've got these games on your PlayStation 5, they should be compatible with this service. But it would be nice for them to start growing the list a bit more for the free games, and also make it a bit clearer as well. So hopefully that's cleared up a few of the questions that people had around the what this router can actually do, and then hopefully I've shown the limitations that I've come across, what this is. What we'll go into next is we'll go back to the router and have a look at the settings. So moving back to the Wtfast menu in the router on our Asus, we're having a quick look here. So now I've logged into my account that I've created, and as you can see on the top there, you do get 30 days trial. So that's with the advanced trial period, and as it says, all this does is basically add more proxy server options for your selection, and once it expires, it will just go back down to the basic account that we've covered already with the limitations. As we can see here, it's quite straightforward. You can choose your device from the drop down where it says the client's MAC address. You can select that, select your device, and then you got games, and you can select your games here. As you can see, you have a list of the games that it's covering and currently supports, and then you can select the game that you want. So in my case, I've got the EU World of Warcraft. Again, then you can select your server. So again, these first two letters refer to your country. So like JP is Japan, Malaysia. So my ones are UK, so I can see here I've got a few options of the servers, but what I'm going to do is leave it as auto, and hopefully let the Asus router and the Wtfast analyze and make sure I've got the right option. Then once you've done that, you can select add, and then it will just add your device onto the list, and you just click apply, and then again it will just update to make sure it prioritizes that device, and also that device is added. And as you can see, if you try to add any more devices, you can only activate one device at a time, so because of the limitation on the account. So now we've got that set up, and I've selected World of Warcraft and EU. That should be all set up there, and now we'll just go on to the Gear Accelerator option. So as we said before, in the Gear Accelerator option here in the menu, what this does is just add a one-click option that's same as the quality of service, where you can add a device to prioritize. So we can just do this if we want to, add a device, select the device you want, and then just hit the add button, and then you click apply on the top left hand corner, and then this is added again to the highest priority. Again, this is just another function of part of Asus. They'll add it to the quality of service option there, but we already have it set to gaming. So this one is just like a one-click option. So now we've done all of those options we saw on the original game acceleration dashboard. We'll now move on to see if we can do some testing. So moving on, as we now have got here the ping test for the World of Warcraft, as we set that up as one of the gaming. Have to have a look. So as you can see, I've run it a few times now. I was getting originally around 15, and then it was shooting up to about 30. And as you can see here, where I've been pinging it, we're getting a steady 15. So that has actually more steadied and actually gave my ping rate a much more static. And it's gone up to 17, 19, and down to low as 11. But as you can see, it's averaging at 15. So that was much better as before, where I was getting around 30 when I was averaging over so many different attempts on the ping rate. Again, this all affects is your daytime, your internet connection, if you're using Wi-Fi, if you're using only 2.4 gigahertz band and 5 gigahertz, and how fast your connection, and of course your device, and if you're using Wi-Fi 6 versus Wi-Fi 5. There's a lot of different things that you got to take into account, and this router will not do everything. It's not completely going to fix all your problems, but it is there to do. And as I've done the test here now, it's shown me that I've got a much more steady rate on the ping rate here within the World of Warcraft, and then when I was testing it as well within games, it does seem to be more of a steady ping that's going through there on the actual connection. So it is actually steadying the connection and the ping rate, and it doesn't fluctuate up and down. As I said before, I was going up to 30 and I was lowest was 15, so the averaging was about 23, so it has come down to 15. So in this instance it does seem to have helped. Not in all instances it will, and then also you must remember the limitations that it only supports certain games, and there's data limits on there as well for the Wtfast. I hope you found this video a little bit informative, and it's answered some of the questions that you had around the gaming features on this router. If you do have any other questions, then put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them the best as I can. Okay, thanks and have a great day.